Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Jessica Rohrig and I got a lot of shit on my plate. So I thought, let's try filming some of it and see if anybody can relate to it. So I actually started filming, or not filming, it gives me way too much credit. I started messing around on my computer because I wanted to see how my new microphones were working. I'm in grad school, and it turns out you have to make a lot of videos in grad school. And I realized that the audio quality kind of sucked in some of them, and it was time to try something new. So I thought, you know what, let's give these microphones a shot. Let's see if that helps. And in the meantime, let's make a video. Let's talk. So I'm 32 years old. I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for about 12 years, and most of that time I've been in the ICU. But that's a lot of time spent at the bedside, and I've been midnights most of that time. It's kicking my butt. I'm tired all the time. So last fall, I made the decision to go back to school to get my doctorate. So I am in a DNP program for a psych specialty. So at the end of these 3 years, I'll be a PMHNP, a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited to step away from the bedside and interact with patients in a completely different way. In addition to working PRN in the ICU right now, I just applied for another PRN position at a state mental health facility. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. It should be sometime this week. And I think that'll be a good opportunity to get more hands-on experience with some of these diagnoses. We see a lot of it in the ICU. I've always had a bit of an interest in psych, and then seeing those patients in the hospital helped solidify that, in addition to working through 2020 and having my own mental health problems, concerns, issues that came along with that. I realized the need for mental health practitioners and mental health in general in the US. So that's part of what helped make that decision to go back to school. I'm 2 semesters in so far to a 3-year program, and it is fascinating. It's fascinating. It's keeping me busy. It's definitely time consuming, but it'll be worth it. And I have some flexibility with my job being PRN and with my husband working full time, that I can, if things get tough, I can try and focus on school if I need to. But in addition to being a nurse and being a full-time student, I help manage a farm with my husband. We raise boar goats, and they're adorable. It's a fairly new venture for us. My husband, he grew up farming. They've always had animals. They've always done hay, and they hated the whole thing. I didn't do any of that. Farming's new to me. But I have the medical background. So goats need vaccines. Goats need help with delivery. Those are traits that transfer to the farm. And in addition to helping with that sort of thing, occasionally we'll get a little baby that maybe mom has abandoned. Maybe she'll have 4 babies and it's hard for her to manage to feed all 4. So we'll take the runt, bring them home, and bottle feed for about a month at the house before taking that baby back out to the barn, letting her get used to the rest of the goats. Besides the nursing, the schoolwork, and the farming, I am fat. And it might be hard to tell from the angle we're at, but you can see it. It's there. I've been overweight most of my life. But I'm very active, got a lot of muscle, so maybe I carry the weight I'm at. You're not going to hear about it this video, but maybe another one. But I was pretty sick of it. I've tried dieting. I've tried intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is a bitch when you work midnights, especially when you work midnights less than 3 shifts a week, because you got this weird rotation of being a midnight person and then going to like a day shift type schedule. It was really hard to maintain. So that didn't really work for me. So I finally got fed up with it, and I went to my doctor and I said, hey, GLPs, they're everywhere. I went in, and she was okay with that. So a lot of times, initially the GLP-1s were ordered for diabetic patients, but that we're seeing the indication widen now. Now we see it for patients who are overweight, who have a BMI over 30. They can be candidates for GLP-1s. And my BMI is nearly 40. So the doc was like, all right, let's try it. Let's do it. She sent in a prescription for me, and it got run through my insurance company, and they don't cover it. They only cover for diabetic patients, not for weight loss medications. So there are ways around it. The manufacturer of Zepbound, which is the medication that she put me on, they make savings cards. So whether or not you get insurance coverage, you can get some percentage off of the total, which is like $1,300. So there are ways around it, but I'm impatient, and you have to get a hold of your provider. The provider has to send the prescription to the manufacturer's pharmacy. It has to be filled and sent to you, because it's not something you pick up. It's something they send in the mail then when you get it from the manufacturer. And I'm ready to start this thing. I got stuff going on. I have clinicals coming up. I'd like to start seeing some results. So I went in and I self-paid for my first month, which was stupid. Kind of stupid. Am I happy about it? A little bit. I'm happy to get started. The manufacturer does have a coupon, even if you don't get it from their pharmacy, to at least take a couple $100s off. So I didn't pay the full $1,300. So I felt a little bit better about that. But it was still a ridiculous price. But I gave myself my first shot on a Tuesday about a week and a half ago. And within that first week, I lost about 6 pounds. And today is Thursday now. I gave myself the second injection this past Tuesday, and I'm feeling pretty good. That food noise, it's gone. What people are saying about it is true. That's part of what my issue was. Feeling constantly hungry, thinking about food, and that is so much better. That has improved so much so far. So despite the incredible price, I think it's worth it to jumpstart what I'm looking for. Like I said, I have clinicals coming up this fall, and I really think that if I could get some of this weight off, I'd be a more confident provider. I'd be a little more confident in front of the patients, and be a little more confident in front of the PMHNPs that are precepting me. This fall will be my first time doing clinicals since my associate's degree in like 2013. So I'm not sure how it's going to be. I hope that because it's the first round of clinicals of many, that it'll be a lot of observation. I can see how people set their schedules, how people interact with patients, and what kind of charting systems they use, and just take it all in, and hopefully not be expected to, I don't want to get pimped. I'm not ready to get pimped. I don't know if you're familiar with pimping, but especially for actual doctors, MDs, it seems to be more prevalent. But it's everywhere in healthcare, and it's when established practitioners or people with experience in healthcare basically ask questions to embarrassment. They ask the questions. If you know the answer, great. They'll keep going. They'll keep digging until you don't know the answer anymore. And it'll make you learn. It will help you remember. If you get pimped and you get something wrong, you will not forget that answer in the future. But it's embarrassing, and I can't. I'm hoping I don't see too much of that, but we'll find out. We'll find out this fall. All right, what else do I have going on in my life? Strength training. So just over 2 years ago, probably, I started working with a company. It was originally called Copilot, but now it's called Trainwell, because of what I think Microsoft came out with a Copilot, and it got a little hairy there for a minute. So now they're just Trainwell. But it is an app that you can download on your phone, and of course you have to pay for it, but you get paired with a real trainer that you can communicate with, and they set up exercises for you. And I've been working on that for about the past 2 years, and I feel stronger than ever. I feel better. Still overweight. Like people say, you can't outrun a healthy diet or an unhealthy diet, or you can't, something like that. I'm still not eating as well as I should, but the physical component is there. So if you guys are interested in videos, workout videos, I guess. It might be embarrassing, but I have to film some of them anyhow to show my trainer so she can see how I'm performing the exercises and make sure I've got decent form. So we can give that a go. And finally, I like to homestead in a sense. I have enough going on that I can't spend all my time homesteading, and there are people out there that are way more intense than I am, and when they think of homestead, they think of nearly off-grid living and self-sufficiency. I think of gardening and canning and preserving and taking care of the goats, and we also have chickens, so taking care of the chickens and bringing in the eggs, and eggs are absolutely ridiculously expensive right now. So selling them to family at a more normal price, at a lower price, and just being slightly more self-sufficient, making some of my own food, kind of meeting things halfway right now, considering how busy I am. That's about the extent at which I can do right now. It's also about the extent at which I can homestead. Some people take homesteading and spin their own wool from their farm animals and then make blankets and such. I'm not that creative. I'm just going to garden. I'm just going to get some tomatoes in the summer. But I'll take you along for it. I'm not experiencing too many side effects from Zepbound. You can get a decent amount of gastrointestinal side effects, and I've been pretty lucky so far. But I think one thing that that I'm noticing, belching. Belching. It's there. It's there, and it's obvious. But I can live with it, especially if I'm losing weight. I can live with that. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, it sounds like something you might want to watch, let me know. Let me know, and we'll start making videos. I'll start making videos anyhow, and you can still let me know what you might want to see. And we'll see how this thing goes. I feel kind of weird starting a YouTube channel at 32 years old. I know people do it, and personally, I love watching YouTube. It's how I kill time when I'm doing dishes, doing laundry. And the YouTubers I watch, they're in their 30s. So it's manageable. But when I think of social media, I think younger generation. So I'm kind of going into it with a weird mindset, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure out the filming, we'll figure out the audio, and we'll go from there. Thanks for listening to me ramble. See you in the next video.